Coffee is not just about a beverage, it's about people, that whole amazing, mysterious way that coffee unites people, you know? You need it.
You don't have to settle for, you know, just something that's okay, or it's just you're washing your dessert down at the end of the meal. It can be something that's beautiful and unique and a new experience for you.
It seems like a lot of coffee professionals I know, like they don't like intend to become like a coffee professional. Like it's something that most people who are in it like kind of fell into that backwards.
My name, Gregory Colston.
I'm Mike Schroeder.
I'm Tyler Rosenstein.
I know coffee is it's a good thing, you know. I guess coffee for me was the first thing that allowed me to see into a counterculture. My first experience was a dude with like combat boots, a flannel, and a mohawk, and in my town that didn't happen.
I remember drinking my first cup of freshly roasted coffee and it just being mind-opening for me, like that coffee could taste like this.
I don't know, it's just coffee just always seems to be like a series of just like mind-blowing like experiences, you know? And I guess that's why it's like so addicting to me.
In coffee with quality, the beautiful thing is, like with wine, probably like with hops or any type of other commodity or product or agricultural product, you've got things that taste different on one part of a farm to another. You've got like a different cultivar that tastes different than another. Luckily, the industry at this point is like pursuing this really microscopic view of quality. Quality means paying a higher price. Quality means doing more work to get it, and it having to be more of a delicate process when you actually do obtain that quality product to bring it to market.
Every time we get a new coffee and that we're excited about, that's the hole that you want to just keep digging in, and you don't really care how deep you get, you just want to keep digging deeper. Every step of the way that you can screw it up, and we want to make sure that we do our best to let the coffee say what they want to say, and you know, make sure the experience is at least a little bit mind-blowing.
Pour over for us conveys the personality of the coffee we're trying to get across. It's beautiful. It has complexity we're looking for. It conveys sweetness. It's not the only way, but it's the way that we prefer, you know. And more importantly, it's a way for us to connect with customers over the counter. If we just had a pot of coffee, we could shove it in a cup and hand it to you and say, "Have a nice day. I'll never see you again." But this way, for better or for worse, they get to know who's pouring their coffee. It's an opportunity to share people's lives, and it's an opportunity to kind of explain the coffees.
The experience of having the coffee poured for you as this process that takes, you know, a couple minutes. You know, having something made for you, really stepping back and letting someone craft something beautiful for you.
So much of the process of getting the coffee here is done by hand. Just having like a fresh cup is just a way of respecting those who have come before you.
Recently, I think there's been a lot more experimenting with, okay, well, this coffee that's traditionally processed this way, let's turn it around and do this other thing and see what it tastes like. So roasting coffee, I think, is a good balance of art and science, in that you do your best to understand the science to be able to artistically express something with the process. We try to understand that the best so that we can see, like, where do the coffees want to go, like what are they saying to us, like where do they really want to sit, to not try to push them to somewhere they don't want to be or to keep them from somewhere they don't want to go.
The cool thing about coffee roasting too is there's these physical cues, right? There's what we call cracks or pops or expansions, and one happens at a definite temperature, and you know that's coming, and we have a particular way of dealing with that and allowing the coffee to sort of stretch out and do its thing, allow caramelization to kind of happen naturally. You have this moment where you can screw it up, or you can make it you can allow it to be a beautiful thing.
I've always, worked in places where just, the coffee just kind of shows up. It's a very like kind of, I guess maybe like romantic kind of type thing coffee roasting is, because so much of it has been done like apart from like the general public that like people don't get to see what happens.
When we try to get all fancy, or if we get all fancy, we tell people like, just remind us we're just caramelizing sugar and cherry pits in a glorified clothes dryer, right? So let's leave it there. I want people in the morning to experience the coffee in their cup, and as they're brewing it, as they're grinding, as the water's heating up, whatever, to hopefully be engaged by this piece of art that's on the bag. It's completely temporary, it's completely frivolous in a way, but but so are mornings sometimes. The art is a way to make our product more accessible, hopefully to make people more comfortable with it. Because coffee can be intimidating. You walk into a cafe and if you don't know the lingo, you're sort of on the outside and you gotta fake it, and then then you learn how to fake it, and then you just keep faking it, and then you never get to really learn or to be real with it.
Like some of the memorable like cups of coffee that I've had like are very much a result of the context in which I drank them. And so like I think that like the bags like play a part in that as well, is like creating like context for people to like enjoy their coffee.
Oddly Correct is sort of a secondhand reference of doing the thing that you're wired to do, and really giving the finger to the status quo of your own mind that is always crowding your decisions, always saying, no, that's crazy. So this is kind of our version of how we want to speak to the world, how we want to say it. So Oddly Correct is kind of our line of allowing ourselves to be who we are, like there's a freedom here to be a freak, in a productive way.
Why would you do anything less than your best to make sure that coffee says what it wants to say to the person on the other side of the bar?
I feel like the table has been set. I feel like Kansas City is ready for like the next step.